Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be our final review for geometry prerequisite skills. I hope that at the end of this lesson we'll be all ready for geometry. So in this lesson we are going to discuss the area and perimeter of 2Ds. 2Ds means two-dimensional. Okay, two-dimensional figures. All right, so we have a rectangle here. All right, and we have a triangle. This will be a parallelogram. This is a square, and this would be an isosceles trapezoid. All right, so let's go ahead and find the area of a rectangle. So we know from algebra 1 that the area of rectangles is by length times width. Okay, so but some people can also write the area as base times height. So depending on what you're comfortable with, but we're gonna take length times width. Length here is 12, and we're going to multiply by the width, which is 5, and that would give us 60 centimeter squared, or square centimeters. Okay, we'll find area because we know the two dimensions of the unit centimeter, so it would be a square. All right, let's go ahead and do for triangles. The area of a triangle, let's go ahead and just write A will be equal to half times the base times the height. So meaning that we have 1 over 2 times the base is 14, and the height is 5. The height is perpendicular to the base. All right, so the height and base are always perpendicular to each other, meaning that they intersect to make 90 degrees. So you can see the height right here. Okay, and we're going to multiply by 5, so that we have 14 times 5 is 70. 70 divided by 2 is going to be 35 square centimeters. Okay, so we're just working on area for now, so we can come back and do the perimeter. So the next shape is a parallelogram, and the area of the parallelogram is given by base times the height. Okay, I can just have BH. Okay, base times height, meaning that you have the base is 9, and you're going to multiply it by the height is not 6. Be careful, we want the height to make perpendicular to make a 90 degrees with the base, okay, when they intersect. So we have to be very careful here not to use 6 as the height, just as we did for this triangle right here. We would not use 12 as the height, so this is slant height. Okay, so and 8 is also slant, so that's why we did not need them to calculate the area of the triangle. So we need to be extra careful. All right, so here it will be 9 times 5, and 9 times 5 is 45. So again, we will have 49 square centimeters. All right, so the next shape here is a square, and the area of a square is look at the dimension. It has one of the sides is 5, so meaning that the width is also 5. Okay, so we always use side squared, or you can use length times length, since the length and the width are the same. So okay, meaning that the area would be 5 squared, and 5 squared is 25, and then we just put 25 square centimeters. All right, and then we'll move to trapezoid. A lot of students don't like trapezoid, but one way I would explain to you to learn about finding the area of trapezoids is it is similar to finding the area of triangles. Okay, a triangle has one base, but a trapezoid has two bases. Okay, so I'm going to circle the bases. So this is the first base, call that base 1. Okay, and then second is this one. That's going to be base 2. So what we want to do here is for triangles, we have half base times height. So the same thing we're going to do here. Okay, so we're going to do half base. Since there are two bases, you want to combine them to make one base. So that means b1 plus b2, and then you multiply by the height. So because the trapezoid also has a height, and well, that this height here is perpendicular. I mean, this is a perpendicular line, okay, to the horizontal. So again, we need a 90 degrees here to make it the height, okay? All right, so 6 is going to be the slant height, so we do not need that. So what we want here is A is equal to 1 over 2 multiplied by the sum of the bases, which is 12 plus 8, and that's exactly 20. And we're going to multiply that by the height, which we will use 5. So altogether, we have 20 times 5, which is 100, and 100 times 1/2 will be 50. 50 centimeters squared. So we're done finding area for those. And then for the circle, the area of a circle is pi times the radius to the squared. Here, the radius is 6. So meaning that the area will be pi times 6 to the squared, which is exactly 36 pi. Or if we take pi equal to 3.14 approximately, okay? Approximately, we take pi to be that. So it means that the area of this circle will be 36 times 3.14. And whatever that gives us will be the final result. All right, let's go ahead and calculate the perimeters for the shape. So this time I will use blue color. For rectangles, perimeter P is given by 2 times the length plus the width, because perimeter means to add all the sides of the shape together, okay? All the sides, but not including the parts that are interior, okay? So for this rectangle, we know that the opposite sides are congruent, so we can have 12 centimeter here for the opposite side to the base, okay? And then the opposite side to the width will also be 5, and we also have 5 centimeter, all right? So we can add all of those together. So what we have here is 2 times the length plus the width is 12 plus 5, which is 17. And 2 times 17 is going to be 34. 34. So 2 times 17 equals 34. So I'm going to go ahead and write 34 centimeter here, because we're just adding and not multiplying the sides. So we just have 34 centimeter. Okay, so moving to the area of a triangle, we have area is 1/2 base times height. But this time we're trying to calculate the perimeter, so we're going to need different formula for that. To calculate the perimeter of a triangle, we're going to exclude this 5. We're only going to add 8 and 12 and 14. So perimeter P will be 8 plus 12 plus 14. And this is going to give us 34 centimeter. All right, so when we go to the parallelogram, we'll exactly work it out like for rectangles. So the opposite sides are congruent. So that means we have 9 centimeter here on the opposite side of the parallelogram, and we also have 6 centimeter, but we cannot use the interior, which is 5, so we just need to be extra careful. So the perimeter here will be 9 plus 9 plus 5 plus 5. So what I did was just added the opposite sides, just like you would do for rectangles. Okay, so you may not need to use this formula for rectangles. You can just add the length plus the length plus the weight plus the width. So that would also do. Okay, and that's exactly what simplifies to this formula algebraically. Okay, all right. So 9 plus 9 is 18 and 5 plus 5 is 10. So that means you're looking at 28 centimeter. All right, for the square, we know that a square has 4 congruent sides and each side is s for sides. So that means we have 4s for the formula. And the 4x is coming from s plus s plus s plus s. So all 4 sides are congruent. So in this algebraically, we come to 4s, so which means the perimeter will be 4 times whatever the side is, which is 5. 4 times 5. Okay, that means 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. That will be 20 centimeter. And then in order to finish with the trapezoid, we know that the perimeter of the trapezoid would not include the interior. Okay, so we're going to use 6 and 8. And since we have an isosceles trapezoid, so we know that this other side here will also be 6 centimeter. Okay, and then the base here will be 12. So altogether, we're looking at uh, the first base 12 and the second base, which is also 8. I mean, yeah, okay, all right, doesn't really matter at this time. So you can be 8 plus 12 or 12 plus 8, and then you have plus 6 and plus 6. So your final result will be 32. All right, so this is how you can find the perimeter of a trapezoid. So, but then when we get to a circle, the shape here is a circle. I hope we would write this down. And for the perimeter of a circle, instead of saying the perimeter, we would say the circumference. So perimeter for circles, we call them circumference. We call that circumference, and the formula is 2 pi r. Okay, since we're given the radius, we'll use 2 pi r. Okay, otherwise you'll use pi times the diameter. So 2 pi r means 2 times pi times r, and we know that 2r means diameter. Okay, so diameter equal to 2 times the radius, because the diameter is a straight line that cuts the circle in half. So which means the radius here plus another radius over there with 2r. So if we wanted, we could have used pi times d, but we will use 2 pi r because we have the radius instead. So it will be 2 times pi. If we want, we can use 3.14 just like this, but sometimes you can leave your answer in pi. It's better to simplify in pi. The radius is 6, so I'm going to plug in 6 for the radius because it's here, right here. Okay, and your final result for the circumference of the circle will be 12 pi. If we took pi to be 3.14, this will be equal to approximately 12 times 3.14, and whatever that result is, it will go with a centimeter, and that will be your final answer. This will be the end of our review sessions and getting ready for geometry. And my other videos will be on a separate playlist so that we can begin to do geometry beginning from the introduction. And we keep following the skills and learning chapter by chapter. I thought it was fun, and we're able to, get ourselves some reminders and get ready for geometry. Thank you for being part of this platform, and I will see you on my next class.